السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. ربي اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. ربنا زدنا علما. اللهم فقهنا في الدين. اللهم إني أسألك علما نافعا ورزقا طيبا وعملا متقبلا. آمين يا رب العالمين. So 5 pillars of Islam, 5 salahs in one day, and today is day number 5 and session number 5, and we are going to cover condition in this session. So what is condition or aslubu shart? And everyone has some idea what shart is all about. What do you think? Everyone knows about shart a bit? Type 1 if you have ever heard about it before, because today we are going to go into detail of that, so you should have some idea, right? You should have some idea. Okay, so um, conditional sentences are those sentences where you will find a condition and then there is a response. Just like, if you will eat, you will be, if you eat honey, it is going to be beneficial for you. When you will finish your homework, you will succeed in the test. If you pay attention to your class, you will get a lot from it. If you are taking notes, good notes, you will be benefited. So all these sentences, you have a conditional clause and then a response to the condition. Do you all figure that out so far? That how there is a condition and then there is a response, right? So this is what we are going to learn. In Arabic, when it comes to a shart, which is a condition, you will find 3 parts. Yes, so if you attend intensive, you will be intelligent. That I don't know, but inshallah, that's a goal, inshallah. Okay, so let's see here. So أركان أسلوب الشرط في اللغة العربية. So what are the parts of shart in Arabic? You don't need to worry about any Arabic written there. You just need to worry about these 3 balls, okay? These 3 ovals that you're seeing on my screen. Focus, 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 okay? There are 3 parts of shart. One is going to be adwatu shart. Adawatu shart, which is a tool of condition. It is a condition that's going to set the shart, okay? Words like if, when, um, words of that nature, okay? Then there is going to be a sentence, which is going to be a conditional sentence, right? And it's going to be felu shart, or you can also call it jumla to shart. Is this clear to all of you? The second part of shart is felu shart or jumla to shart. Just like if you eat, you eat is going to be your jumla to shart. You will be healthy. What is it going to be? It is going to be your jawabu shart. It is a response to the condition. So there is a tool of shart, a tool that is going to set the condition, a conditional clause, and then a response to the condition is called jawabu shart. Type 1 if you're with me. Again, 3, right? Every day there is something 3 that you have been learning, right? 3 types of silatul mawsul, 3 anwa'u hal, 3 anwa'u sifa. And now when you are learning shart, there are 3 tools in shart, right? So first is tool of condition. Second is felu shart or jumla to shart, and there's some use this term felu shart, and some call this the first conditional clause as jumla to shart, and the last one is jawabu shart. Okay, now see, when you have adwatu shart, you can classify adwatu shart into 2 types. Okay, they are going to be adwatu shart jazima, and they're going to be adwatu shart ghair jazima. Okay, so adwatu shart jazima, what does word jazima mean? What, anyone can answer that for me? Any word that makes a fail mudare light test. For those of you who have covered it like that, any word that is going to make your fail light test, or it is going to make your fail majzoom, it is going to be called adwatu adwatu shart jasima. When it pertains to condition, it is going to be called adwatu shart jazima. If it affects the status of fail mudare, after it, it is going to be called as dhatu shart jazima. So let's just quickly go over the three ways. Three again, very, very popular number in intensive, right? Three is very popular. So there are three ways you are going to find your mudare in lightest form or majzoom form in Arabic. Okay, your fail is going to show you its lightest form or majzoom form by three ways. Okay, the first one is if it is ending with a sahih letter, which is any letter other than alif, waw, ya, it is going to be taking a sukoon upon itself. Like tajharu will become tajhar, ya'khudhu is going to become ya'khudh. Okay, three ways. A sukoon is the first way alone. Okay, the first way to show a lightest form is by showing it with the presence of a sukoon, which will happen if your last letter of a fail is something like yansuru, ra with dhamma, it will become yansur. If it is ending with noon, it is ending with noon, which happens with yansurani, tansurani, yansuruna, tansurina. What will happen to that? It is going to be made lightest by the dropping of the noon. You will drop that noon and it will become lightest or majzoom in Arabic. And if it is ending with weak letter, words like yahdi, yad'u, tarda, how are they made majzoom? You drop the weak letter at the end. The weak letter at the end is dropped. So there are three ways a mudari is going to be made majzoom. There is not just one way. So please pay attention to this slide. Just focus on the slide. Notes will be available. However, what you need to take home from this class is the mudari can be made lightest in three ways. The mudare is going to show you its lightest form in three ways. First is it can be ending with sukoon. If it is ending with the sahi letter, which is any letter of Arabic alphabet other than alif, waw, ya. Okay, in the middle category, it may show you its lightest form by omission of known words like yansurani, yansura, they will become yansura, yansuruna will become yansuru, tadkhuluna will become tadkhulu, tansurina will become tansuri, right? And the last way is if your mudare is ending with a weak letter, and the weak letters in Arabic are three: alif, waw, ya. In Arabic alphabet, there are three weak letters: alif, waw, ya. And if the word is ending with that, it's going to drop its weak letter. Okay. So this is how you are going to find your mudare in the majzoom form after adawatu shart jazima. Okay. But what if it is not mudare, if it is madin? So then in that case, you will call that madin fi mahalli jazmin. You will call that madin, if it is in kuntum mu'minin, in kuntum mu'minin, in that case, if there is kuntum, which is madin, in the madin form, it's fail madin, naqis, you will call that fail fi mahalli jasmin. Okay. When it comes to adwatu shart ghair jazima, they will not affect your fail in any way, form, or shape. Okay, there is no change to the fail itself. Okay, it is not going to bring any change to the fail itself. But when it comes to adwatu shart jazima, they are going to show you, they are going to affect the mudare and they will make it majzoom. If it is madin after them, then the fail becomes fi mahalli jazmin, and we will practice it in a minute. And then in a minute, I will show you all of them. But for those who are extremely impatient, I already put their picture in the slide so that, that there are a bunch of them. There are almost 11 of them in Izma, Ma, Man, Mahma, Aina, Ma, Haisuma, Kaifa, Ma, Mata, Anna, Ayyana, Aina, Ayu, right? And then Iza, Akullama, Lamma, Lawma, Lawla, Law, Amma are going to be among those that are ghair jasima. They are not going to make mudare majzoom. Type 1, if you are with me, they are not going to change the status of any fail after them. They don't affect the status of fail per se. Just understand it like that. Okay. So this was your adwatu shart. Okay. Then comes, this was the first part. And this first part, Advatu Shart, you have divided them, and now everyone has divided it into two types, Advatu Shart Jazima and Ghair Jazima. Okay. The second part was the Felu Shart or Jumlatu Shart. So I will hide my slide. After Advatu Shart, do you always have Felu Shart? Is it always followed by Felu Shart? Is it always followed by fail? What do you think? And there are very advanced students in the class. I'm hoping to get an answer from them. Okay, so do you always have to have a felu shart, or sometimes okay there is hasf of that? Okay, let's just do it together. Okay. So when it comes to your shart clause, when it comes to your condition clause, which is your jumla to shart, okay, it is called jumla to shart. In some will call it jumla to shart, and some treat it as felu shart. Okay, it is going to be of two types. It is going to be jumla failure in 90% of cases. Okay, and it is going to be jumlatul failure in 90 to 95% of cases. You will find your jumla shart as jumla failure. Everyone with me? Everyone with me? 90 to 95, or actually 95 to 98%, make it and put it in that range. Okay. What do you expect to see after advatu shart? You expect to see jumla failure. Okay. And the fail after them is going to be mudari majzoom with advatu shart jazima. With gair jazima, it is going to remain unchanged as we have previously discussed. Now, okay, so you want to call it more than 95% jumla failure. Okay. Now, jumla ismiya, you will find there is one adatu shart, lawla, and this is, that is why it's very easy. It's going to be very easy. More than 95%, you look for fail after advatu shart. But in those five or, 1 to 3% of cases, I would say, 1 to 3% of cases, what is going to happen is if it is a word like lawla, it is going to be followed by jumla ismiya. Is this clear to all of you? If it is lawla, what do you expect to see after it? It is going to be jumla ismiya. And then if it is amma, it can be either. Okay. Amma can enter both jumla ismiya and failure. Amma is one adwatu shart, which is ghair jazima. Both of them, lawla and amma, both are ghair jazima. They are not from jazima category. And lawla only enters upon jumla ismiya. And when it lawla shartiya only enters upon jumla ismiya. When it comes to amma, it can enter jumla ismiya or jumla failure. Type 1 if you are with me. Okay. So everyone got it? Okay. So when it comes to jawabu shart, and it is your jawab clause, right? Everyone understands it is a response to the condition. So it can be jumla failure, jumla ismiya, type 1 if the entire ummah agrees today. And I'm very disappointed to see only 75 of you, because the course has been, the group has almost 140 students, and I hope may Allah give them barakah in their time. They must be, learning in their imagination. They are having Quran class by Sister Saima in their imagination. Okay, so in when it comes to jawabu shart, it can be jumla failure, it can be jumla ismiya. Everyone should know that. But your jawab, is it always there? Is every shart is every shart in Quran followed by jawabu shart? Huh? No. Very good job. No, not at all. There are cases when you will not find your jawabu shart. It can be omitted in two conditions. The conditional verb should be fail madin. So if the conditional verb is fail madin, like in kuntum mu'minin, in kuntum sadiqin, kuntum is fail madin, naqis, right? And the jawab is easily understood from the context. Okay, if you can easily figure out the jawab from the context, it is permissible for the jawab to be omitted. But what everyone in class should know, your response clause can be omitted. You may not need the whole detail. You should know jawab can be failure, jumla failure. Jawab can be jumla ismiya. I have not given you any number, any figure there. Okay. When it comes to shart clause, I gave you a figure of 95 to 98 for jumla failure. like, your jumla failure is going to be your shart clause. It's going to make your shart clause. And in 1 to 2% or 3% of cases, you may find jumla ismiya, which is the case with laula, and amma can enter here as well. Okay, in jumla ismiya as well, but it enters jumla failure too. Okay, so now comes a little more detail about your adwatu shart jazima. Now you can see them very clearly. In an isma, when it comes to your 13 adwatu shart jazima, among them two are harf, rest all are ism. Is this clear to all of you? That is why they are colored differently. Two are harf in isma are harf, rest all are ism. Okay? If I ask you ma shartiya, man shartiya, mahma shartiya, ainama, haisuma, kaifama, mata, anna, ayana, aina, ayuma, what are they? You are going to answer they're all ism. They're all ism. And if I give you a question in your test that, which of the two adwatu shart jazima are harf, and the whole list is there, which one will you pick? Which one will you pick that they are harf? In isma. In isma, the first two. Okay, you are going to pick the first two. And isma is not in Quran, so we don't need to worry too much about it. Okay, when it comes to your adawatu shart jazima, and you all must have covered in your basic sessions that there are haruf shart jazima. It's not haruf shart jazima. In is one haruf shart jazima, but there are other haruf that can make mudari majzoom, which are lam, lamma, li, la nahiya. Right? They also make mudari lightest. You all know that lam, lamma, li, la nahiya, they can all make your fail lightest. But when it comes to in, among these, only in can affect two mudari at the same time. It has a power to make two fail mudari majzoom in at the same time simultaneously. In tansuru yansurkum. So both mudari are majzoom, and they have been made majzoom by in jazima. In ya'tukum usara tufaduhum. Ya'tu from ya'tuna is made majzoom by in, and tufadu is majzoom from tufaduna because of in. They are tajzimul fi'laini. They make two mudare majzoom. Everyone got it? And the all rest, lam, lamma, lila, all lams in your table, they can only have an effect on one fi'l mudare and make it majzoom. Okay, so I hope everyone is clear with this information. When you see your in isma, ma, man, mahma, aina, ma, haisuma, kaifuma, kaifa, ma, mata, anna, ayana, aina, ayuma. Now, in and isma are harf, right? So we don't worry much about them. They are harf. When it comes to ma and mahma, they are used for non-intelligent beings. They are for ghair akil, which means unintelligent, right? So ma and mahma, when ma is used as ism shart or mahma has come in Quran as ismu shart, it is referring to ghair akil, which means not an being of intellect. When it comes to man, it is an ismu shart for aqil. When it comes to kaifama, it is ismu shart for hal. When it comes to mata, which means whenever, ayana, which means whenever, anna, which can mean whenever, they are ismu shart, zarf, zaman. And zarf zaman, we have covered it yesterday. Who can remind me the meaning of zarf zaman? Can anyone tell me? And we are running short of time. We have lot to cover. It is a noun of time. Very good job. Very good job. Catherine, you are rocking it. And everyone else as well. But I'm giving it to her because non-Urdu and Arabic speaker and still able to grab so much. Alhamdulillah, barakallahu fiki. Okay, so then comes ismu shart, zarf makan. And what is zarf makan? Because everything has a meaning. And without meaning, we cannot move forward. It's a noun of place. Noun of place is zarf makan. Nothing hard, right? Ismu shart, zarf makan. It is ism of shart, adatu shart, which is ismu shart, and it has to do with a place. So anna, aina, ainama, haisuma are for the place. Haisuma, ainama, aina, anna are for place. And then comes ayu. Then comes ayu. What is going to determine what is the role of ayu? All of them, most of them are in Quran. Very good job. So Rabia has told you, the given the right answer, that whatever the role of ayu is, what type of ayu, either you have to put ayu in category of ghair akil or akil or zarf makan or zarf zaman or zarf makan. It will depend on its mudaf ilayhi. It is also a question word, Nazneen. It is also a question word, but it is also an ismu shart as well. Okay, so in your slide, you are going to find it as ismu shart. Okay, is this clear? Everyone, ayuma is included in the category. Okay, so everyone should be aware of that. When it comes to your adawatu shart ghair jazima, how many are there? There was 13, and then there are 7, so there are 20 of total of them. Okay, 13 are jazima. They can affect the mudare and can make it majzoom, and then the rest 7 are ghair jazima, and they include iza, kullama, lamma, lauma, laula, law, and amma. Everything, everything that you're seeing, what is this color called? Who can tell me this color? There's the first three blocks, the color in the first three blocks, this bluish color. So these are all, so okay, we'll call it blue or sky blue. So these ones in the sky blue boxes, the 1, 2, and 3, they are isms, and you have covered them yesterday. They were your special mudaf as well, right? Iza, kullama, lamma, and they all have to do with time, right? They have to do with time. When it comes to laula, lauma, lau, and amma, they are all harf. Is this clear to all of you? Everyone got it? So now we have to find something that can connect your jumla shartiya with jawabu shart. You don't get the difference. You will understand it later, Catherine, but it is very important. It is very pertinent for someone who is doing the Arab to understand that if they are ism versus harf, because this is very important. So, how you are going to label your sentences. When you are going to do advanced stuff, it is important that you understand them as ism. No, the green ones are not ism, the blue ones are ism. Iza, kullama, lamma. Remember, they are also your special mudafs as well. You have learned them as mudafs, right? So these three are ism. No problem, no problem. So iza, kullama, lamma are your ism, and the rest are harf. Okay, greens are harf. Very good job. Alhamdulillah. Okay, so you understand that they do not make mudare majzoom or any sentence majzoom after them. Okay, they're not going to affect the they're not going to bring any change to mudare afterwards. Okay, everyone know that, right? No change in the status, right? They are ghair jasima. You absolutely right. Now I'm at a place where I want to connect my jumla shartiya with jawabu shart. Okay, so when I have to connect my jumla shartiya with jawabu shart, sometimes I do not need anything. Okay, sometimes I will not need anything. For example, in tansurullah, if you all help Allah, yansurkum, He will help you all. Wa yuthabbit aqdamakum, and He will firm your feet. So this is Surah Muhammad, ayah 7. Do we need anything to connect these two sentences, which are shart and jawabu shart? No. Okay, the next example, in ya'tukum usara tufaduhum. If they come to you as prisoners, you all give fidya to, you ransom them. Okay, you ransom them. So, is there any connector that you find? But what do you find here? Both shart and jawab are jumla filia, right? Both shart and jawab are jumla filia. You notice that? In both cases, your jawab, which is yansurkum, tufaduhum, is jumla filia. But sometimes, if it is not jumla filia, if it is not jumla filia, I still have to connect. I still have to connect the sentences, right? I told you the jawab can be jumla ismiya and it can be jumla filia, right? It can be jumla filia, it can be jumla ismiya. So if the jawab is otherwise, or there is something present in the beginning of jawab which and it is not directly at the beginning, fail is not right at the beginning of the sentence, what can I use to connect two sentences? What is something that I can use to connect the two sentences? And that's something that can make a connection between your shart and jawabu shart is going to be called fa'ur rabita. Fa'ur rabita. Have you ever seen that fa'ur rabita in Quran? Anyone has seen? Most of you guys, most of you answers who I know that have done 10 hardest surahs with me, and I'm asking the rest of them, rest of the ummah, please. Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah for that, and may Allah bless you for that. Okay, so now see, when you have your jawabu shart, which is jumla ismiya, you will need a connector which is called fa'u rabita. If your jawab is fail is has to do with command or forbidding, you will need fa'u rabita. If your jawab has qad in the beginning, it will need fa'u rabita. If your jawab has ma nafiya in the beginning, it will need fa'u rabita. If your jawab has harf nasiba lan in the beginning, it will need fa'u rabita. If your jawab is fail jamid, these are the af'al. They only have past tense form, do not have any mudare, they don't have any present tense form, they don't have any command form for them. These af'al, when they come as jawab, they will need fa'u rabita. When your jawab is beginning with seen wa sawfa, which are the haruf that push the meaning of mudare into future for sure, you will need fa'u rabita. When your jawab is beginning with innama, it is going to be you will need fa'u rabita. How many of you are with me so far? How many of you are with me so far? If your jawab is beginning with is jumla ismiya, what do you need? فَإِن تُخْفُوهَا وَتُؤْتُوهَا الْفُقَرَاءَ فَهُوَ خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ. Then if you hide it and you give it to the fuqara and to the poor ones, then it is better for you. Huwa khairul lakum. Why is fa'u rabita there? Because my jawab was jumla ismiya. Why is wa in yamsaska Allahu, and if Allah stops bidur, and if Allah holds the harm, fala kashifa lahu, then there is no one who can remove it, right? And if Allah touches you with the harm, then there is no remover for it, right? There is a jumla ismiya la kashifa la nafiyatu lil jins kashifa ismu la lahu mbk, right? Lahu jar wal majroor mbk. So you need fa'u rabita, right? And then in the same ayah, wa in yamsaska bi khairin, then if Allah touches you with a good, and if Allah brings good, fahuwa ala kulli shayin qadir, then He is upon everything fully able. This huwa starting a jumla ismiya, you need fa'u rabita. So, فَمَنْ كَانَ يَرْجُو لِقَاءَ رَبِّهِ, so whoever he wishes for the meeting of his Rabb, فَلْيَعْمَلْ أَمَلًا صَالِحًا, then he should do amalan صالحا. What is there which is requiring the presence of our rabita? Lamul amr is there. Very good job. إِذَا تَدَايَنْتُمْ بِدَيْنٍ إِلَى أَجَلٍ مُسَمَّى فَاكْتُبُوهُ. Uktubu is your failul amr, and who is your mafulun bihi, your detail. So here again, because your jawabu shart was failul amr, you have brought fa'u rabita to connect your jumla shartiya with its jawab. Qalu, they said, in yasriq, if he stole, faqad saraqa akhul lahu min qabl, then his brother also has stolen before. So faqad, qad came, therefore you are seeing fa'u rabita. مهما تأتينا به من آية لتسخر لتسخرنا بها فما نحن لك بمؤمنين. So this is your jumla sharti, this is your shart clause, and with fa you are seeing beginning of your jawab. And why is fa or rabita there? Because there is ma nafiya in the beginning of the sentence, and then you have lan. And if your lan is in the beginning of the sentence, you will have fa'u rabita, right? And if you have fail jamid, in tubudu sadaqat fa na'imma. So ni'ma bi'sa, all those fail. These are your jamid of all I gave you in the previous slide. This ni'ma is coming as jawabu shart, in here. So you require a fa'u rabita because it is jamid. It is your jamid field. It does not have any present tense form, does not have any command form to it. Faman shariba minhu, so whoever he drinks from it, falaysa minni. Laysa, again fail jamid, and it is coming in your jawabu shart. So jawabu shart now has to be connected to shart through fa'u rabita. فَإِن كَرِهْتُمُوهُنَّ فَعَسَىٰ أَن تَكْرَهُوا شَيْئًا وَيَجْعَلَ اللَّهُ فِيهِ خَيْرًا كَثِيرًا. Then if you dislike them, then it is possible, then perhaps that you dislike something, and Allah will make in it for you, in it a lot of khair, lot of blessing. So again, asa is your fail jamid, and it is beginning your jawabu shart, and you require fa'u rabita in the beginning of the sentence. If your sentence, the next few examples I hope are pretty straightforward, and I can move forward. Type one if it's clear to all of you that if any of the situation is there, if you have these 8 cases, you remember, you will find your fa'u rabita only and only at that time. Now in here, man ada fayantaqimullah, fayantaqimullahu minhu wallahu azizun zuntiqam. So in here, man ada, whoever he returns, do you know why is this, is this require meeting any condition for the presence of our rabita? What do you think? Is it in one of the conditions? Is it jumla ismiya? Is it failul amr or nahi? Is it qad, manafiya, harf nas, lan, or laysa, nima, bisa, or sin wa sawfa, or innama? Any of the condition present here? No, but still you have our rabita. It's only madin present. Very good job. The jawab is only your fail mudari, right? Yantakimu, intakama yantakimu. Your fail mudari is present, right? You did not need fa'u rabita. In that case, and these are very few cases when you will find fa'u rabita followed by fail, and none of these 8 conditions are present. Okay, in that case, remember, it is going to be considered, this jumla failure is going to be considered a khabar of mubtada that has been omitted. So you have to understand it as fahuwa yantaqimullahu minhu wallahu azizun zuntiqam. Okay, when there is fa there, it is not going to let any change afterwards. Remember that whenever there is a fa, or keep this point in mind. We have done it very many times in our class, that if there is a fa, then even the man is from adwatu shar jazima. If there is a fa in the jawab, in the beginning of jawab, you will not see a change in status. You will not see mudari in the majzoom form, if that makes things clear. Everyone with me so far? Alhamdulillah. Okay, now when you have covered the few sentences that you were covering, when it comes to jumla haliya, what was the status of jumla haliya? What did you learn about the status of jumla haliya? It is nasbin status. When you learned about jumla mudafun ilayhi, what is the status of jumla mudafun ilayhi? It is fi mahalli jar. When I covered with you silatul mawsul, what did we talk about the silatul mawsul? What is the status of silatul mawsul? La mahalla laha min al-i'rab. When we talked about khabar, we never talked about khabar together. But if I asked you what's the status of khabar as jumla, what will be the status? It's always going to be raf'in status, right? It is going to be considered fi mahalli raf'in. When it comes to jawabu shart, which is set by set by a condition particle, which was from adwatu shart jazima, which is, like if it is in, isma, ma, man, mahma, all those, and there is a fa in the beginning. If there is a fa in the beginning, if the adwatu shart is jazima and there's a fa in the beginning, the sentence which comes as jawab is considered fi mahalli jazmin. Okay, it is going to be considered fi mahalli jazmin. It is only going to be the case, there are 2 conditions for that. Yet your condition tool has to be jazima. Your condition tool has to be jazima, which in is, and the jawab must have fa'u rabita. Jawab must have fa'u rabita. Okay, is this clear to all of you? In that case, you will consider your jawab fi mahalli jazmin. If your jawab is something like that, أينما تكونوا يدرككم الموت. And here you have Ainama, which is also from your Advatu Shart Jazima. It is from your Jazima group. Takunu, your Mudare Majzoom. Yudrikkumul Mauta. This sentence, which is the Jawab of Ainama, which is Adatu Shart Jazima, will you consider it fi mahalli jazmin? Will it be considered fi mahalli jazmin? No, because you do not have fa. You have to have either fa or iza fujaya in the beginning of jawab for it to be fi mahalli jasmin. No matter what adwatu shart jaz, if even if your adwatu shart is jazima, but if jawab is not beginning with either fa or iza fujaya, your jawab becomes la mahalla laha min al i'rab. Okay, everyone got it or got it somewhat? Even if you did not get it, that is not the basic topic. You have to cover a lot more. Okay, so remember, go back to the recording for that. Okay, go back to the recording for that. So jumla jawabu shart is going to be jazim if it is muktarina bil fa, attached with fa or izafu jaya. Okay, keep in mind. Okay, but in all rest of the cases, when it comes to adwatu shart ghair jazim, well, what will be the status of jawab? It is going to be just like silatul mausul. It is going to be la mahalla laha min al i'rab. LMLA. Okay, la mahalla laha min al i'rab is going to be your answer. Okay, LML, whatever you want to write, whatever abbreviation you want to make, as long as you are able to tell me that it has no status, the jawab has no status, I'm pleased with your answer. Okay, so when it comes to your advatu shart, now let's just quickly look at them. The first one was in, and we are going to focus on in, which is jazima. In jazima, you see it makes mudari madzum. So in tukhfuha wa tu'tuha al-fuqara'a fahuwa khairul lakum. We just did this example. So this is your jumla shartiya, right? And this is your shart clause. You are seeing an effect of in on fi'l mudari. Tukhfuna. It was tukhfuna. It is showing you its majzoom status, its lightest form, by dropping its noon. You have learned that mudare is going to be lightest, can be lightest by dropping of the noon, right? By dropping the noon, you can make mudare lightest or majzoom. So you are seeing all that here. And your jawab is jumla ismiya huwa mubtada khairun khabar lakum muta'alliq bil khabar. And since it is jumla ismiya, you have to bring in fa. Anytime you have in shartiya as your as your harf shart, what do you see it being followed by? What do you see it being followed by? It is followed by fail. It can be fail madin fa in amanu. Then if they believe bimisli ma amantum bi, just like you have believed, faqad ihtadaw, then they indeed have obtained the guidance. So this here is, this whole chunk is your jumla shartiya, right? Amanu is your felu shart. You are going to call it. Now this is not in majzoom form. So what can we use for it? Can we call it fi mahalli jasmin? As I mentioned in the first slide, call it FMJ. Fi mahalli jazmin. Okay, FMJ. And these terms, just think about it, that in here they are irrelevant, but what you need to understand is, as a beginner of grammar beginner grammar student, you have to understand that in has to be followed by, if it is in shartiya, in as a tool of condition, is followed by fail after it, and it is going to be in lightest form. If it is mudare, it is going to be called fi mahalli jasmin if it is madin. And the jawab, if it is beginning with qad قد اهتدوا, if I ask you the status of this jawab, now that you have adwatu shart jazima, your condition was adwatu shart jazima, tool of condition is jazima, you have fa in the beginning, fa rabita in the beginning, it is going to be fi mahalli jasmin. When you have, and then there is another one, in tawallos, then if they turn away, فَإِنَّمَا هُمْ فِي shiqaq, then they indeed are in dissension, right? So this innama, why is in fa there? Because innama is in the beginning, right? Fa rabita came because in the sentence is beginning with innama. Again, in zalaltum min ba'di ma ja'atkumul bayyinat fa'alamu. So this Zalaltum is fail madin, is a past tense. It is going to be called fi mahali jasmin. Your jawab is beginning with waw rabita. Why so? Because your jawab is command, failul amr, right? I'malu, i'lamu. Then you all know that indeed Allah is what is Al-Aziz, how Aziz, ever wise and very powerful. I forgot, about how to, mighty. Yes, thank you so much. So then, فَإِن لَمْ يَسْتَجِيبُوا لَكُمْ فَاعْلَمُوا إِنَّمَا أُنزِلَ بِعِلْمِ اللَّهِ. So in again, you are seeing in followed by you are seeing in followed by lam yastajibu. Your jumla, your shart clause is again fail. It is jumla failure. Very good job. But what if you don't find a fail after it? And in here, can this in be shartiya in imra'atun khafat min baliha nushuza أو إرادا فلا جناح عليهما أن يصلحا بينهما. In here, when there is no fail mentioned, then you assume that there was a fail after in shartiya, after in of shart, which has been omitted, and this imra'atun is a file of the omitted fail. And what do we consider omitted here is the same fail that has come in the sentence. Okay, the same fail that has come in the sentence is going to be considered omitted in here, and that was, if you can see, you are seeing khafat. So in khafat, imra'atun here. If a woman fears from her husband with whom she has consummated the marriage, nushuza, nushuz, or erad, that he's ignoring him, then there is no blame upon them too, that they reconcile among each other. Okay, so khafat is going to be considered omitted here. Okay, you will find the sentence has a fail which is omitted from there. Will you treat this one as jumla ismiya? Will you treat this one as jumla ismiya? Imra'atun mubtada khafat min baliha nushuzan. Can you treat it as jumla ismiya? And I will ask my students not to type. Please let other students type. Those who are either not in the class or are not in our advanced sessions, I want them to type. You are not going to treat it as jumla ismiya, because what did I tell you in the very beginning of the session? After in, you expect to find a fail. In here, khafat imra'atun is khafat, fail khafat is going to be considered omitted, and imra'atun is going to be treated as file for omitted fail. It is a file for omitted fail, and whatever is coming after khafat, the second khafat is going to be considered jumla tafsiriya, the sentence which is clarifying whatever has been omitted before. Okay, again in another example, in ahadum min al mushrikeen istajarak fa ajirhu. If from mushrikeen, anyone from the mushrikeen asks you for a refuge, then give him refuge. In here, this is again jumla shartiya, and I told you in this session, the take home point is the in is also always going to be followed by a fail. If it is not there, you have to assume it to be there. Okay, you have to assume that the fail has been omitted. And in here, what will be the omitted fail? My students, please stop answering. 10 दफा क्लास में कर चुके हो. The implied fail is going to be this one, istijara, or istijara. Okay, you are going to consider istijara ka ahadun min al mushrikeen, and this ahadun is the outside doer for istijarak, this one. Okay, is this clear to all of you? Jamila, Maliha, are you with me? Again, فَإِن طَائِفَتَانِ مِنَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ اقْتَتَلُوا. If two groups from the believers, they fight with each other, أَصْلِحُوا بَيْنَهُمَا, then you reconcile between them. What is omitted? Very good job, Jamila. It is وَإِن اقْتَتَلُوا. اقْتَتَلَا. You can now, we have to bring a outside طَائِفَتَانِ as an outside doer, so we will change the form to اقْتَتَلَا, and we will make طَائِفَتَانِ as an outside doer. Okay, I will add all these to your slides. Okay, so everyone got it, that how you always have to consider in this case that there has been a fail that has been omitted. Okay, and because your fail is going to is always supposed to be there, is always supposed to be there after in. Okay, so when it comes to ma, which is your ma from Ismaul Shad Jazima, what you will find special with this ma is you have done ma al Mausula. And ma al Mausula, does it have to be in the beginning of the sentence? What do you think? Do you have to have it in the beginning? No, not at all. It is fine, found Mausula is going to be in the middle, usually connecting what is after it to what is before it. But when it comes to ma, which is a ma from the condition isms, it is going to be always in the beginning. وَمَا تُقَدِّمُوا لِأَنفُسِكُمْ, and whatever you send ahead for yourselves, min khairin, of any good, tajiduhu indallahi, you will find it with Allah. So this is from Adwatu Shart Jazima, those that make your fail light test. So tuqaddimuna became tuqaddimu. Wama taf'alu min khairin. And whatever you do of any good, fa inna Allah bihi alim. Then indeed Allah is ever aware of it. So in here you find that there is fa in here, but there is no fa before tajiduhu. Why so? Why in the second case you are finding fa'u rabita, but in the first case there is no fa'u rabita? Can anyone from the new students, please, Rabia? Okay, so tajidu is going to be is a fail. We don't need fa'u rabita, and in here fa inna allaha is a jumla ismiya. It's a jumla ismiya, so we need to have fa'u rabita in here. Okay. Again, wama anfaqtum, in here you have a past tense now after ma ashartiya. So what will you call it? Because it is non-flexible. It does not undergo any change. It all nasartum remains nasartum. There is no lightest for nasartum, right? It is going to be felu shart fi mahalli jazmin. You are going to call fail madin as fail felu shart fi mahalli jazmin. Is this clear? That it is in the place of something that was supposed to be in the majzoom form or in the lightest form. And again, in the jawab, you are finding faw rabita because your jawab was jumla ismiya inna allaha ya'lamuhu wa ma lizalimina min ansar. Okay, so then there is man that is that has the same work. Man yudlillahu falan tajida lahu sabila. So again here you are seeing man shartiya, and this one you have done man mausula. What is the position or location of man mausula? Man mausula is an ism. It is an ism, but when it comes to the positioning of it, where do you find it in the sentence if it is mausul? It connects what is after to what is before. It is in the middle. Very good job, my dear sisters. So in here, when it is a shart or a question man, it is always going to be in the beginning of the sentence. And this has been in your slides for your session number 1. Okay. Again, you are seeing other examples of that. We are going to skip that. And then this is not something that I would like you to know at this stage. Ayu. Many of you have learned ayu as a question word, right? So here, Qulidullah, you all call Allah, or Vid'ur Rahman, you all call him Allah, or you call him Ar-Rahman. Ayyamma tad'u, whatever, with whatever, whatever you call him, tad'u, you all call him, falahul asmaul husna. Then for him are the most beautiful names. So in here, what do you think is making fail tad'una, which is, you're seeing ud'u is you all call Allah, or with you all call him ar-Rahman. Ayyamma tad'u, what is making this tad'u majzoom? What is making it lightest? What is making it lightest? Very good job. So it's this ayyan, yes, very good job. This ayyan, which was ayu, and now it is missing its mudaf ilayhi. So it is in the heavy form, right? It is from ayu or ayya, it is now ayyan. Ayyan. And see, Quran has so much to offer, right? And this ayyan is your adatu shart. It is your ismul shart, which is affecting tad'u and has made it majzoom. Remember that and put it in your notes. And these notes are going to be shared with you. And then your jawab is beginning with fa. Why so? Because your jawab was Abdul Manan. Why is jawab beginning with fa or rabita? Or let me see, Jamila, where is Jamila? Jumla Ismiya is the jawab. Very good job. Maybe Abdul Manan knows more Arabic than I do, but he's new to my class, so here you go. I'm going to pick you like that because my students, they have covered these concepts, alhamdulillah. So it's for the new students. So ayyama, ayyamal ajalaini qadaitu. Then whichever of the two terms you complete, فَلَا udwana alayya, then there is no animosity against you. And this was the words that were said to Musa alayhi salam by his future father-in-law. Okay, so he offered him the two terms to complete 8 to 10 years, if you all remember from Surah Al-Qasas. So in here, if I ask you, if this is being treated as adatu shart, what will I call qadaitu, which is fail madin? What should be the status of qadaitu? I told you if it is mudare, it's going to be majzoom like tad'u. If it is madin, you call it fi mahalli jasmin. Very good job, meow. Very good job. Very good job, Nazneen. Very good job. So proud of you, Yasmin, and everyone. Very proud of you. And then if I ask you the status of the Jumla Ismiya, La Udwana, La Nafiyatul lil Jins Udwana, Ismula, it is going to be fi mahalli jasmin. Very well done. So then some say this Anna in Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 223, is also your ism shart. It is your ism shart. Anna shi'tum. Then you all come to your harvest however you want, or however you want. Okay, so if this is considered to be ismu shart, what will be the status of shi'tum? Fi mahalli jasmin, because it is fail madin. And in here, do you see any jawab? Do you find any jawab? Anna shi'tum. Anna shi'tum, there is no jawab after it, right? Because wow cannot be jawab, right? So there is a no fa, there is sometimes, what did we learn in the beginning? Sometimes jawab may be omitted, right? And what will happen is whatever is before jumla shartiya can be denoting that this could be the possible jawab. However you wish, you come to them. You come to your harvest, however you wish. This can be something that can be denoting the jawab, whatever comes before a shart, conditional sentence. If the jawab is omitted, sometimes whatever has been mentioned before it can indicate that this can be the possible jawab in there. Okay, so keep that in mind. And then ainama tuwallu fasamma wajhullah. Wherever you turn, then there is the face of Allah. Samma wajhullah. Samma, what is this word samma? How will you label it? There is a fa there. Samma wajhullah. It is going to be Jumla Ismiya. Therefore, you see a fa. Tuwalluna became tuwallu because of ainama, which is adwatu shart jazima. Adwatu shart jazima, as my slide says, it makes tuwallun. It has made tuwalluna, tuwallu, and fasamma is going to be is a zarf. So what should we call this zarf? What should you call it? Wajhu is going to be mubtada. Allah, he is going to be majroor bil idafa, majroor lit ta'zim bil idafa, and samma, if it is a zarf, is going to be labeled as muta'alliq bil khabar, guys, right? You call it muta'alliq bil khabar. Easy. So aynama tukunu, wherever you all are, yudrikkumul maut, death will find you. In here, what will be the status of jawab, which does not have fa'u rabita? LDO, Ani Baba, what is the jawab? What is the status of jawab? Can you enlighten us with the jawab? Anyone? Anyone from the new students? Fi mahalli Jasmine Jamila, very good job. So ainama yuwajjihu. So again, you see how ha is sakin. How ha is sakin. Why so? Because ainama is adatu shart jazima. From who it became sakin because of ainama. And the jawab is pretty straightforward. Ainama takunu, wherever you are, yati bikumullah. Allah will bring you all jamian together. Okay, so again the jawab is and jawab and jumla shart both are majzoom status. There is no need for any fa because the jawab was jumla filia, right? It does not have any of the 8 conditions where we needed a fa. In here, what is the sign of majzoom status in yati? What is the sign of majzoom status in word yati? the hasf of ya, it was ya ti. There was a ya at the end, and the no, the kasra is not the sign. The omission of the weak letter. Very good job. It was ya ti. And what is the sign of majzoom status in what takunu? How is it made majzoom? What is the sign of majzoom status? The dropping of the noon. Very good job. Now comes your adwatu shart. Ghair jazima. The problem is solved. You will not see anything after them which is going to be changing its status, or it's not going to change the status of the fail after them. However, when you have iza as your adwatu shart, what do you expect to see the status of the jumla shart that comes after iza? What will be the status of shart in this case? The shart clause that is coming after iza, which is a mudaf, which is a zarf, it is a zarf zaman, noun of time, sets a condition. What will be the status? It is going to be fi mahalli jar. Very good job. Ki lalahum la tufsidu fil ard. And this la tufsidu fil ardi is basically mafulun bihi for not sorry, not mafulun bihi. It is naibul file for fail kila, which is majhul. It is naibul file fi mahalli raf'an for fail kila, and that's not a question today, but you need to know that this iza is going to make kila lahum majroor bil ida. And why so? Because they are together making an idafa. They are fi mahalli jar because they are making an idafa. Absolutely correct, Meow. And then your jawab is beginning with qalu innama nahnu muslihun. When it comes to iza lakul lazina amanu, when they meet those who have believed, they say amanna, we have believed. So see how you are finding you should be able to find your shart clause, and then you have your jawabu shart. And jawabu shart, since it is does not have any of the 8 conditions, can be easily connected with your shart without need for any faw rabita. But in here, iza tadayantum bidainin ila ajalim musamma, and when you may take a loan for a specified period or term, faktubu, then you all write it. Why faw rabita had to be there? It is because there is a filul amr in the beginning. Will the status of this jawab fi mahalli jazmin, will we still call it fi mahalli jazmin, my dear students? Will it be considered fi mahalli jazmin? No, no. When your adatu shart is ghair jasima, when your adatu shart is ghair jasima, is it from the first group of 13, or is it the second group? It is ghair jasima. With ghair jasima, jawab is always just like silatul mawsul without any status. Lamma, and any time lamma comes with fail madin, it is your shart ism. It is ismiya shartiya zarfiya. Ismiya shartiya zarfiya. Learn these terms. Ismiya means it is an ism. Anytime it is followed by fail madin, it is an ism. Ismiya. It is shartiya. It is always going to be a tool of condition. Zarfiya, it is a tool of condition that has to do with time. Okay, its jawab is always going to be past tense. Falamma adaat ma hawlahu. So when it lit what is around it, dhahab Allahu bi nurihi. Allah took away their light. Its jawab is also always a past tense. Keep that in mind. And lamma is a noun of time. If I asked you the status of this one after the sentence following lamma, lamma is zarf, mudaf, noun of time. So the status of this sentence, which is following lamma, and it is mabni, it can only take as its mudaf ilayhi sentence, because it is mabni, it has a fixed ending, so it is going to be fi mahalli jar, as Ashifa is typing. When it comes to kullama, it is a type of shart ism, which is going to have, which is a zarf zaman. It is zarf zaman, and it signifies the recurrence of the recurrence. It signifies the recurrence of the result in response to the recurrence of the condition. The things are happening over and over again. Kullama ahadu ahadan, whenever they promise, nabadahu fariqum minhum, a group from them always throw it, always don't fulfill it. Okay, so every time they do it, kullama nadijat juludahum, whenever their skin, juluduhum, their skins are burned, baddalnahum juludan ghayraha, we change them with the skin other than it. So in here, can you see that how this is going to happen? again and again and again and again. And this is how you are going to find it. Again, in this case, just like lamma, your jumla shartiya and jawab are in past tense form. And then you don't need to worry about this slide at all. Okay, then comes amma, and the unique feature of this one is that it can enter both jumla ismiya and jumla fi'liya. So let's see what is very special about it. Amma, which is shartiya, is always going to be followed by an ism. And this is so important to know that this is going to change everything for you. You will find another amma in Quran, which is a combination of plus ma. Plus ma, which means or, and ma means what. So that is also there in Quran. But if it is amma shartiya, it is always going to be followed by an ism. Okay, an ism can be either rafa, nasb or jar. Okay, is this clear to each and every one of you? Listen to the recording again. If you do not understand the end of the recording, you should go back, listen to it again, commit it to your memory, because this is going to change everything for you. فَأَمَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا فَيَعْلَمُونَ أَنَّهُ الْحَقُّ. So as for those who have believed, then they know that indeed it is true. أَمَّا الَّذِينَ, amma, your shart particle. It is shart particle. Is it followed by an ism? الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا. الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا is your mubtada. يَعْلَمُونَ is giving you the information about your mubtada. Those who have believed, they know that indeed it is truth from your Rabb, right? So this amma is always going to be followed by an ismu an ism which can be rafa, nasb or jar. In here it is entering what type of a sentence? It is entering a jumla ismiya. And you notice its jawab is always going to have fa in the beginning, and it's a very strange relationship between shart and jawabs. You notice the shart clause is basically the mubtada, and jawab is basically your khabar. Can you all notice that? Can you all appreciate that how the shart clause, your shart clause is allazina amanu, which is an ism, right? And compound ism, those who have believed, al mu'minina, they know that indeed it is the truth. It is truth from their Rabb, right? And the jawab is actually your khabar of jumla of your mubtada, right? And jawab has always is going to have fa'u rabita. فَأَمَّا الَّذِينَ kafaru. So as for those, فَأُؤَذِّبُهُمْ azaban shadida, then I will punish them with the pain, with the intense punishment in here. So as for those who did the kufr, u'azzibuhum azaban shadida. Can I again say allazina is after amma is my mubtada, allazina kafaru is my mubtada, u'azzibuhum azaban shadida is my khabar, right? Coming after fa'u rabita, and again it is entering a jumlatul ismiya. Fa ammal yatima fala taqhar. So as for the orphan, do not repel, right? So in here, again, see, it is followed by an ism. It is followed by an ism again. Anytime, if you are thinking about amma is shartiya, it is going to be followed only and only by an ism. Imashtamalat. Can it be amashtamalat? There is two words in Quran, amashtamalat, amma and ishtamalat. Can it be amma shartiya? Will you ever consider it amma shartiya? Never ever. You should never, because ishtamalat is hiya ishtamalat is fail madin. Amma, which is shartiya, is always going to have an ism after it, which can be rafa, nasb or jar. So ammal yatima mafulun bihi here, fala taqhar. La, your la nahiya, and taqhar is mudare, which is in the lightest form or majzoom form. فأما السائلة, أما again shartiya followed by an ism, لا تنهر, do not rebuke them, right? So as for the one who questions, don't rebuke them, and this amma saila, as-saila is mafulun bihi for la tanhar. Wa amma bi ni'mati rabbik. So as for the blessing of your Rabb, fahaddis. Haddis is filul amr, which is coming after faw rabita, and the shart clause is jar wal majroor muta'alliq bil fail for fail haddis. Okay, everyone got it so far? So in the last three cases, you are finding amma in jumlatul failya. The first two cases are the cases of jumlatul ismiya. Then comes your law. So law is a condition which is never going to be true. It is a condition. Now the time has passed. If you would have attended the first session, you would have learned a lot. Now, is there any chance that you will be able to go back and attend the session number 1? the live session number one, no, the time has passed, no opportunity lost, right? So that kind of a condition is going to be set by low. Had it been the case, yes, absolutely. So it is going to be, it is something that is unrealizable. It's not going to be ever come true. Its jawab mostly has a lam in the beginning. It mostly has a lam in the beginning. Law nasha'u laja'alnahu hutaman. So, you can easily tell if we would have willed, we would have made them, um, what is dust.
لا
Common
متحرك.
is basically the dust. Okay. So this lam is beginning the jawabu shart. So lamul waqia fi jawabu shart. It does not always have to have this lam. It is going to be sometimes, if it is, you have law nasha'u ja'alnahu ujaja. In here, do you see any lam? No, it does not always have to be there. But it can be there. Okay, it usually has lam in the beginning. If it is jawab, which is negative sentence, remember it is not going to be starting with lam. Okay, so for some important points about low shartiya is low shartiya. Its jawab comes with lam or without lam. It can have lam and it can be without lam if it is a positive sentence. See the two examples. It does not have a lam if jawab is a negative sentence. It is possible that it comes after it comes a masdar muawwal, which is a file of a felu shart sabata mahzuf. So in here, what did I tell you that most of this shart that you are going to learn, the shart particles you are going to learn in 95
ثبت.
to 98% of cases, they are going to have they are going to have what is it called, moment. Okay, one second. They are going to have fail after them, right? So sometimes the fail may be omitted, which is the case here. Walau annahum amanu wattaqaw. So annahum, what type of a word it is? It makes a compoundism, right? So in here, the fail shart has been omitted, right? Sometimes it may be omitted, and any time when it is omitted, remember it is considered to be sabata mahzuf. Okay, it can be followed by faus sababiya. It can be followed by faus sababiya. Law anna lana karatan, for if so, if it was there was a time for us, fanakuna minal, another time for us, and fanakuna minal mu'minin, then we would have been from the um, believers. Nakuna is nakuna because of Paus Sababia, which has a hidden an after it. It may be preceded by an mukhaffafa, and that's not very important for you to know at the stage. Lawla, when it comes to lawla, what did I tell you? What type of a sentence it is going to enter upon? What the shart clause with lawla is always going to be jumla ismiya, which is, it is unique. It is followed by jumla ismiya. It is followed by jumla ismiya, and its khabar is always not there. It is always omitted. It is always omitted, and it is assumed to be word mawjudun. And for the last two, I'm going to share a recording of a session with you so that you, inshallah, can benefit from that. So I will, however, end the session here. And one thing before I leave you, remember laula when it is a shart, when it is a shartiya, when it is laula shartiya, it is always going to be followed by an ism. Always remember, if it is laula followed by a fail, then it is not shart, it is tahdid, which is one of the particles of persuasion, to provoke someone to do something. It is then a particle that is used to persuade someone to do something. Okay, it is going to be something that is used to urge someone to do something. It is to incite someone to do something. Okay, so this is what your shart and adwatu shart and jumlatu shart and jawabu shart and fa'u rabita, and how you are going to connect everything together is. I hope you find this session beneficial. We have to, there was a lot to say, and there is a lot of information that came your way. But I have to end the session here. I've already taken 8 more times, but inshallah, um, I will give you, a recording for low and lawla. And you can benefit from the recording as well. So, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayka. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Okay, let's see here.